So, when you open a super pack, you usually find the needle in something like that. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. And you can see there's a lot of information there as well, which we'll go through in a second. But Matthias is going to first load the needle holder. So he holds on to the needle about 1/3, about halfway along. Can we zoom in, please? And you can see that he locks in the needle by closing the ratchet. And if you want to rotate or reposition the needle, you can easily do that holding the needle holder, but make sure you don't handle it directly because obviously it is a sharp object.
Okay, so I'm not touching my needle, sort of holding it 2/3 along the line or half of the needle. The closer you are to the tip, the more control you've got. So what's next, Manai?
So next we're going to actually put our first suture into the skin. You can see Matthias is holding the skin edge up, and we're going to place our needle about 90 degrees at an angle, so going perpendicular to the skin, and rotating it to come out the edge. And as you can see, Matthias has done a wonderful job here of supinating and pronating, because that's where all of the movement is in the wrist. So we're going to come out of this edge by moving the needle out.
So yeah, this supination and pronation, twisting movement is super important, particularly if you stitch pal or creating a vascular anastomosis. Otherwise, your hold, if you just get your needle through,
you're going to cause a tear.
Yeah, just going to bleed all night. You're never going to get home.
No, no.
Okay, so I'm just going to quickly instrument tie this.
So as you can see, Matthias is going to loop around the needle holder twice, and then hold on to the tip of the short edge, and then slide the knot down. And as you can see, you want to ensure that as this happens, it's on either side of the wound and not over the wound itself. And now we're going to lock it in place by doing the same thing on the opposite side.
Okay, so can I get you now to cut this up for you, please? There you go. So this is going to be skill number 1, which we will talk a little bit more, and the demonstrators will talk you through this and other types of sutures as well. And our skill number 2 is the surgical hand tying. Can we go on to preset 2, please? There you go. So we got this model, but as I said earlier, let's hold any sort of piece of string, even a shoelace, will do it. So we were trying to figure this out with Manal, how to demonstrate it well. But it's quite a complex procedure, and it's quite difficult to explain. So the best way we found it is if I talk myself through it.
Yeah. And you know, don't be worried if you don't get it the first time. It will take time to get it right. So as you can see, Matthias is holding onto a short edge and a long edge.
Yeah, exactly. So I pinch the short edge and the long edge, both of them, between my index finger and thumb. Then I'm going to put these 3 fingers. Oh, Manal called this, by the way.
It's like an upside down OK sign.
Upside down OK sign.
Yes.
Okay. So from my upside down OK sign, I'm going to bring my 3 fingers downwards and towards myself. And I'm going to bring the long end across. So as you can see, this is Manal's other favorite.
It's like an upside down 4.
An upside down 4, okay.
It's coming down this way. Yeah.
Yeah, so an upside down 4. And once I've got my upside down 4, I'm just going to stick my middle finger into this underneath my short edge.
Yeah.
Fix it between my 1st and 4th finger and pull it across.
Absolutely.
Easy. Only took me about 10 years to figure this out. Okay.
It takes a while, so do not be worried, anyone, if you don't get it on the first go, okay?
It's all about practice, which apparently makes perfect.
Absolutely.
So let's go back to our starting position by holding the short end and the long end between index finger and thumb and index finger and thumb. And then just if you are starting the similar hand tie, bring your hand forward, but this time, please release the thread, the short end, and fix it between your 3rd and 1st finger. So your thumb and your middle finger, yeah? But by keep holding off the edge of the end of the short thread. So 3rd finger, 4th finger holding it, then you get your index finger free, which then you can bring underneath the short thread. And here you go, Manal's favorite upside down 4.
Absolutely. And now we're going to hold on to the the short part of the floor.
Let me show you the fall, by the way.
Can we actually zoom in on this?
Yeah, let's zoom in. Upside down fall. Remember?
Oh, let's move it here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's an upside down fall.
And then we're going to hold on to the short edge between our forefinger and our third finger. And then interlock it to pull the thread through. Except this time we're going to be going in the opposite direction to make sure that our knot is a square knot.
Okay, can you go back to preset 2 pi please, so we can do. So as you see, this is the position where I was. I'm going to move my left hand, my short hand, my shoulder forward. I'm going to bring down the knot, just like that. Okay, and altering these 3 movements is how you're going to get proper square knots, which I'm never going to